no, I thought you already did.
Nope, we are now recording. Welcome in to the first episode of
Oh,
a
go.
donut podcast. I don't know if that's going to be the actual name or not. Anyways, we're here. We're
Podcast.
we're here. We're gonna do things. We're gonna talk about things, and yeah,
Other things.
yeah, pretty
And
much.
you guessed it, more things.
Yeah. Anyways, my name of course is Glazed45. I'm joined here with some very epic people. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, epic people. That's you
Okay,
guys.
I'll go first, I guess. Senpai 2, Senpai Spaghetti 2, whatever, which one. I mean, Rob would probably be best. We'll just go with that. We'll go with Rob.
Yeah, and other epic person, introduce yourself.
True fan or Mark. That
He
Yeah.
also goes by Marky Mark, and we are the Funky Bun.
We are definitely not the Funky Bunch. Anyways,
go by.
what we're gonna talk about tonight is we're not gonna talk about politics because nobody likes those. It's just bad for
Bro.
everybody. We're gonna talk about anime and how certain anime are getting a second season before good anime are getting a second season. Mark, feel free to chime in with whatever football knowledge you have.
Okay.
But yeah. So let's talk. Our first topic will be about how Death March is getting a second season. And if you don't know what that is, it's a trash isekai that I don't recommend.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it, but not really too much.
So the basis is the guy gets transported to another world. Basic isekai, basic overpowered isekai protagonist. And it all started with a death march. Like he worked for like 3 days straight, and then fell asleep at his desk, and then got isekai'd. And it's getting a second season.
It's. I mean, I don't know, man. If he obviously found his, his like his thing, like his style of anime. So I mean, he's gonna make money off it, whichever way. And
Yeah,
and I mean that comes in with the point that everybody has their own opinion on it. So the fact you can see it in that way, someone else sees it in like, oh my god, it's still the same like formula, but he's still putting a little more different spins
spin.
on it. Probably not as much as you want, but and putting time into this anime instead of another one. I get it. It would be cooler to not get that second season and get one of
I mean,
what other anime.
my whole thought process here is I'd rather see a second season of So What I'm a Spider because that anime was baller. But I also understand the way they did it. They're probably not gonna do a second season.
You definitely picked the weirdest ones to talk about because I have not even seen this one. I've never even heard of So What I'm a Spider.
Oh, you
What is it?
haven't? It's one of
No?
okay. So it's another isekai, but it's kind of a darker one because our main protagonist is female and she gets transported into the body of a baby spider. And then she has to work her way up through like this nightmare labyrinth hard mode, which to me is much better than just, oh yeah, here you go, you're overpowered because you got reincarnated.
Okay.
But it's an isekai, so um, but yeah, there's quite a bit. That's another thing I wanted to talk about was how many isekais are out there right now.
You know what? The last time I was on Crunchyroll, that's the only thing I saw was
was reincarnated as a slime. I was reincarnated as a dishwasher. You know, like I get it. I get the formula, the plot, the being something that's not, or like it's not even inanimate objects. It's just stuff that, like one of my favorite like animes, which is funny enough because it's the blood blood cell show.
Oh,
Where
Cells at Work.
yes, cells at work. That show is giving life to random things. I am down. I get that. Some of
Right.
these reincarnated stuff though is kind of like, but I'm an old anime fan, so I'm an old head when it comes to the anime. So it's not like I can easily just start one of these isekai animes, and I try, I try so hard. I just don't get it. Like it. I don't know. I get it, but I don't,
Right.
and it's not that much enjoyable to me. Like you guys watching how I was reincarnated as a slime. I can't get into it.
I gotcha. I think the whole thing there is that, you know, it has like that light novel to kind of guide you through what's happening,
Yeah.
which I understand not all anime do, and I also understand that. What am I trying to say here? That most people will feel a certain way about certain animes. Like I understand where you're coming from, Rob. It is old anime typically, like old anime are better to me just because like it shows how little they had to work with back then and they still put out good anime. Like
But
and
back then, like, it was. Okay, I don't even care who fucking gets mad, but like back then, like honestly, it was literally like soap operas,
right.
Japanese cartoon soap operas, and you know what, like Inuyasha, even Full Metal Alchemist at times, like these are shows that get you so into it and draw you in so much that you're crying at the end of the show. The Full Metal Alchemist, you're crying 3 to 4 episodes into the show.
Yeah.
Literally. You can show anybody the show, and they'll just be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And that's what I miss, and that's what only certain animes have um, given me lately. Like, what was Hell's Paradise is one.
Mm.
I just Demon Slayer.
Yep.
I will highly recommend that to anybody who's starting. I just
Anime.
got my ex boss into it too,
Nice.
and yeah, and her and her kid are watching it. Like, I was like, it's a good ass show. There's nothing.
Right.
I mean, like, and it's weird to have all these different genres of anime now.
Right.
All
Slice of
fighting
life.
for that number one spot, kind of, and I mean, not a lot of them can get it because One Piece and all these other heavy hitters are still up there.
Right.
So it's really hard to make something that can be like, wow, that's better than blah blah blah, or
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it does kind of suck because new anime get overlooked a lot by the older ones. But and I get the vice versa argument to that too. Like newer anime are better than the older ones. But I also understand that there's a lot of anime types now. Like isekai is one, slice of life, action, adventure, romance.
yep.
Like, and the older anime had all of this jumped into one little package.
Literally, the old genres were horror,
Shonen.
sci-fi, fantasy and shonen. Yeah, like there weren't many
Others.
different other categories back then, and now the you know um like yeah the I mean the older we get, the more there's going to be newer stuff and all that. And I'm not dogging on any of these animes. I respect that they're like coming up with new stuff. It's not all going to be the same hero type bullshit. Well, it is, but
It is, but it isn't.
right, because then we have like the slice of life, or I guess the isekai is cool, but that's still the hero plot, or
Yeah.
however you want to work it.
I mean, here's another thought that. I mean, there's also the new genre of anime that is sports. Like Blue Lock and Prince of Tennis just did another series, which is insane to me.
What's your opinion on that, Mark? Sports animes.
Well, the hardest part for me to really have much of a conversation about this is that I don't really watch a ton of animes, but I do watch every bit, much sports as I can. So, if it has like a story like a lot of other sports, like movies or shows do have, then it probably could be at least half decent to be something good.
Because I've heard they actually do kind of get their shit right when it comes to the animes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't.
It's-
Sorry, go ahead.
It's overdrawn, obviously. My bad. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I don't watch a whole lot of sports, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other. But I know Mark does. So.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm kind of like the middle of both of you. I watch a little. I know some stuff about sports. Some of it's just weird,
Right.
and then like video games, comics, all that.
Yeah. I mean, we have a plethora of topics to talk about. So I think we're gonna put a pause on the anime topic and let's switch over to like superhero movies. Why not?
All right, who's hitting it first? You want it, Mark?
I'm gonna let you guys hash this one out. I'm gonna run to the recording room and I'll be back.
All right.
The one thing I really am looking forward to, like, I want to figure out what is going on with how DC is gonna really take off this, because they're trying to kind of mimic everything that Marvel's doing right now. I want to just figure out how they're gonna kind of combine it all together, how they're gonna bring it all up, and how they're gonna move forward from this. It sucks how like they've had all these different actors come in to play the same characters, so there's never really some similar things.
Right. Well, I mean, with DC though, it's sad because they know their formula is messing up, and they're still going with the same shit over and over again.
But
And
which is
then-
why it's nice that they've taken up like, James Gunn, and like, he's now starting to trying to change it up for him.
Yes.
Someone bring what Marvel's done, the success they've had there.
But I mean, I don't know, because like, it's just. I hope DC can actually pick their shit up and actually make some good films. But I mean, Marvel's not doing any better. The best film they put out so far is fucking Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, yeah, like that's the one that I don't think Marvel really has much say in.
Alrighty, my
That's
friend.
more.
Sorry about that.
That's more Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's his baby.
And it's his.
Or are we
And it
talking
just so
about-
happens they make Deadpool and Wolverine are Marvel.
Can we also talk about the fact that he probably has three Deadpool suits now because of the nice pool suit?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he probably has. Yeah.
You know his ass didn't give that back.
Hmm.
Oh, 100%. He didn't give. He probably didn't give half the shit back.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
I bet you. Well, like, I think in during it said like his entire family was in the movie, and they all were wearing Deadpool suits. I'm sure that like the day of that filming, they all walked off set in their suits and said, "We're not giving. Fuck you."
Probably. I mean, you guys have heard about the Green Lantern rings he took, right?
We're not talking about Green Lantern.
I know. I'm just.
That's not. We don't discuss that here.
We
But yeah,
we,
no.
we kind of try to
Well,
forget that ever happened.
well, you think of it like everyone really, every actor tries at the very least to try and bring home something. If you're big enough, they'll let you do it. Like
Hmm.
Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr., like he announced that he had the big Avengers A from Stark Tower.
Oh,
Hmm.
hell yeah.
Like, that's insane that that was like a legit thing, and then like someone like oh yeah, I want that. Send it to my place in California. I'll take it.
Oh, also, the fact that Marvel, like, you know how we were on the topic of movies and how DC, well, DC does need to step up their shit, but I just want them to give us more of what we want. But I know that's not going to happen unless
Yeah.
we bully the shit out of them. But now, Marvel, the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Victor Von Doom.
Oh, that's gonna be insane. I cannot wait to see that.
Oh yeah,
What?
that'll be interesting. I wouldn't say
But
insane.
there's already theories. So you know how the multiverse is all fucked up, right?
Yep.
So technically, if it's not true, then fuck it, whatever. But technically, it could just be a superior Iron Man hiding
I mean that's
as,
true.
yeah. But I'm honestly hoping it's not that because I really do want to see him in another role
Right. Me
for
too.
Marvel.
Honestly, if we see him in another role, I think it would be good for not only the audience but him as well.
Like I wouldn't be against since how the multiverse is all like I said all messed up. Them bring back like other like actors like if they bring back Chris Evans and they have him do
No,
some other role
Yeah.
no,
because of
they
well thing
ended
if you're
every possible way of bringing him back because I
well
think he's
I'm not
done.
saying as Cap I'm not saying as Captain America yeah
Well, I know, but I just meant like he's done with it. Because okay, so you've seen what we know about Captain America. We all know. You've seen Wolverine and Deadpool, right?
Yep.
I have not seen that.
Okay, then I honestly I didn't want to talk about it anyway because we're podcasting. But so okay, we'll end that and go to something else. Craven the Hunter.
Oh yeah,
What do you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
think?
I think that movie looks dope.
Oh, it looks sick as fuck. I cannot wait to watch that one.
Like
They picked a good actor.
I was having this discussion with one of the guys at my comic book shop who runs like the comic book section of the shop. He's like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, even if it's not a good like superhero movie, it'll be just like a good gore movie."
Yeah,
I hope so. I hope it's like
yeah.
showing his animalistic shit, like the actual like, because there's never been any movie adaptation of Craven the Hunter. This is the first ever step into a. So, okay, you know, Venom, he's been in movies before. We've
Mm-hmm.
seen him in animations. We've seen Craven too, but we've only little bit. Like my first interaction with the character Craven was in the 90s Spider-Man. I was
Yeah.
like, who is this guy? And then I started reading the comics and stuff, and I was like, holy shit. But like, no, I really hope they can pull this off, and hopefully it's a really good movie because
Honest.
it would be awesome to get. Because I think they still want to do the Sinister Six movie,
That would
but I
Yeah.
be
don't know
cool.
if it's gonna happen. It would be awesome, but they're taking too long
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Falcon's gonna be too old to even play no, Vulture is gonna be too old to play his role, and then fucking I mean, they can obviously change everybody, but
Right. It won't.
I yeah, because uh even with Doc Ock, we haven't even seen a like um fucking Tom Holland's version. If it's the same, if they want to keep the same person or bring someone else, you know.
Right.
You know, I feel like that's the one thing that kind of sucks is like when you have so many different actors play the same role.
Character.
It's
Yep.
just like so many actors play the same role. Like for when it came to Spider-Man No Way Home, it became like something really cool that they were able to bring in the other actors who played the role in Tobey
Which,
Right.
Maguire and Andrew
which
Garfield.
wasn't
That
even
was
supposed
cool.
to happen.
Yeah, no, but that was really cool to watch. And that was like one of the only times I was like, you know what? It kind of makes now it's like it's kind of okay that we had so many actors play this role. For
Right.
this moment, it's cool. But like,
And that's why
how many actors have played Batman?
A lot.
Exactly. And it's like you go through like all these other characters, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Why do we keep having like a new Batman every like 2, 3 years? It
Right.
feels like like if I'm not saying that it happens, but that's what it feels like.
No,
that's kind
I,
of how it was for a little bit
yeah, that
after,
is.
or Christian Bale
Well,
was every 2 years. But like, oh, what was I gonna say? With Spider-Man and stuff, like that's where they messed up with the Ant-Man and the Wasp quantum
theory.
shit. Um, with what's his name's character. Um,
Kang?
yeah, they made every character of Kang look like him.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's no possible way. Now they have to recast the whole character. Actually, but they might actually just scrap the whole fucking thing because of their big mess up.
Right.
I bet they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off
Yeah.
because it's
More than
I don't know.
more than likely they
There's,
are.
but then you see that after that, like now we're getting another new season of fucking What If, and we're all not like in the Agatha thing. I didn't even watch that yet.
I still haven't watched WandaVision because I just heard it was absolute garbage.
It was good, but it's everyone has a different opinion on it.
I heard the only thing that's like been good from like the spin-offs is the Loki show, which is kind of
Yeah.
I still gotta finish Loki show, but I know I've seen the bits of the ending, so I'm like,
It's really good.
I'm just going to watch it. But it's just like they if they're gonna they gotta find actors and commit to them, which is
Mm-hmm.
what sucks right now. Is that they get actors in and they're like, okay, this could be a solid actor for these parts, and then all of a sudden, like partway through their time with them, like, oh, something crazy happened. This guy, we gotta fucking fire him, get rid of him. And then they got like they can't recast the character because they haven't made the entire thing his character. Like I'm sure it probably was weird as hell when you saw like like Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just watching fucking War Machine change completely. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like how many times can they do that
Yeah.
for a character they're gonna make one of their main guys?
Yeah, and they kind of did him dirty, but like I don't even know what to say about that situation because
Well,
we don't
well,
know the full story. And
yeah,
Marvel,
no. The only of that story I ever heard was that the dude who was originally playing him wanted more money than the leading actor.
Yeah.
yep,
Which, like, dude, you want more money than than Robert Downey Jr. Downey Jr. is playing Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the movie you're in?
Yeah.
Iron Man.
It's kind of funny, honestly.
honestly, you want to know what? Let's
Like,
take a little throwback. What'd you guys think of the first fucking Iron Man movie?
Bruh, I saw that in theaters with my first girlfriend, and like it was dope to me.
so I watched it. I watched most all the Marvel movies in order to what was it? To the like Avengers Endgame and Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
All right, those were the last two movies that came out from Marvel at the time when I watched them all in a row. And I gotta say that is really cool that Tony like it's one of those stories of like oh an arms manufacturer or arms dealer gets ambushed by his own shit,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is just like holy fuck, that's insane to really even think about.
And then also, I'll have to recommend like because there's another like animated one during 2007 to 2008 where these companies were throwing out these animated like Marvel
Oh,
like
I
cartoons,
remember
and
that one.
my favorite one was the Doctor Strange one,
Yeah.
but there was also an Iron Man one that was like in a little more depth of when he's captured and stuff. But like you said, the storyline is there, and like the character was it was honestly their best choice to go with for a first movie,
Yeah.
and
Now,
that started a whole saga.
like the
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man one, the movie itself, I feel it was pretty solid, very good. It was really sucked. I feel like the only thing that really sucked was why the fuck would it be his partner that really wants to fucking kill him? When it's like, dude, you don't know half the technology, and Tony Stark was able to fucking made this thing. You need him on board to make more of those.
Yep.
Because
And then he kills, and
he
then he
wanted,
like tries to kill him, make his own thing, so he can sell them. I know that.
but like he had the technology to steal Tony's stuff. That's what was the
Yeah,
point of him making the big one. But you saw how he was thinking. The guy was thinking out of pure like
lust, money, greed.
money, greed, war.
Yeah.
Tony's is more everything that happened to him when he got captured. That suit will protect him, and like it's a Swiss Army suit, like it has all
Oh yeah.
these different features because every time he gets in trouble or gets like messed up bad, he critiques his suit. That's why he
Oh yeah.
has thousands of Mark 1 through 500. They're all different
Oh yeah.
types of lessons he's learned, or like suits to go underwater, to go into
Hell,
deep space.
even there was that one time where he was it was crap. Was it? Oh, why can't I think of it? Is it three? I think it is.
Probably.
He crashes in like the crashes in like all a snowy area.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crashed into that snowy area, was freezing his butt off, dragging his suit right behind him,
Yep.
Yep.
That was three.
and then like later on you go into like one of the Spider-Man movies. Tom Holland had just like come out of the water and is like
Yep.
freezing in the middle of the night, and then Tony appears and goes, "Well, yeah, that's why I have that's why I had the that's why I made your suit. I made the tracker in it, and also I made this built-in heater, and like warmed him up." It's like, oh, that's from him being out in the cold.
Learning a fucking life lesson. Yep. That's what I love about I mean,
Like,
there's
don't
different Iron Men.
oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Tony's ability to learn and adapt to whatever he is fucking to whatever's happened to him in the past is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. And he kind of gives me like that, I don't know, like Batman vibe, just like kind of Hawkeye, but like Tony has the money and he put his like he used his brain to make a suit to withstand like fighting aliens and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like Clint's over here shooting a bow and arrow at these motherfuckers. Like I
Oh, I
give him
know.
props too.
Yeah, it's the same. It's similar to like Batman walking up fighting these fucking crazy maniacs, just with just
Or
his fists.
him trying to help fucking Superman attack Abomination, some shit like that. Like
Yeah. So here, I know we've been on superhero topics for a little bit. Switch it over to like a little bit to a TV series I've been watching for a while?
I bet.
Everyone know NCIS?
Yep.
Oh, baby,
Okay.
let's get into
So,
this. Okay.
so let me just say this. I've been on this thing now for a little while now, where when I'm getting ready for work, I will watch episodes of NCIS, and then when I have time, when I'm able to, and I have the time to, I'll watch an episode while I'm on my lunch break at work. I
Oh
have
yeah.
watched all the original except for the latest season they just released in season, I think it's like 22 of the original. I
Yeah.
then went after I watched all that. I then went and watched. I'm watching all of them in order they've been released. I watched NCIS Los Angeles. That I find it's really good, but it's gonna lose a lot of its fan base quickly
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that. And I'm now almost finishing up an NCIS New Orleans. I think it's very good, but it's a very political. Uh, it's them versus politicians a lot of the time
Yep.
Yep.
because like the we'll just go through like we'll go through the original first, and then we'll look around. So
We
like the
can go
original,
anyway.
let's go through like the original first. Who was like your favorite group of people
I didn't
through
watch
the
the
original
original.
series? Because there's now the brand new group that's there,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like the two like OG groups you can consider it.
Mm.
Who was like your what was your like your favorite Gibbs team, or if you like the newer one of the newer ones,
I think my favorite was the original, honestly, like, because I
like
I liked all the characters.
like the original four.
Yeah, because that's
So
what I grew up on was the original NCIS. Like it would just come on at night, and I'd be up still watching it. And but that yeah, that I have not really much to
like
say. I just really
well,
like the.
well, I just want to know the question on that is if you're like if you like the original, are you liking either who was the female in that group? Or are you saying you liked Kate
Oh, fucking
or did you
uh,
like Ziva?
I'm dumb. One second, I
Because
got
there's the
this.
first four. The beginning of it, at the very beginning, it is just Gibbs and Donoso on the team, and then in the first episode they recruit Kate to be their third person on the team to join Ducky and Gerald as the medical examiners, and then there's Abby. Then throughout season one, after it
Abby
becomes
was my
Gib,
favorite.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
everyone's favorite. It's Abby,
yeah.
but
Mm.
then so then like for like the Gibbs's team, it is just Gibbs, Tony, and then they add Kate, who was former Secret Service, and then
Yeah.
later on through season one, they eventually add Tim McGee. But then the ending of season two, they have they end up killing off Kate because she wanted off the show. And then beginning of like late season two, early season three, they introduce Ziva David, a Mossad officer,
Mm-hmm.
that then joins the team. So like that's like kind of the like one of the original teams. The first team is like Donoso, McGee, Ziva, Kate, and Gibbs. And then it's still the same boys, and then they just swap out. They put in Ziva, a Mossad officer, and then that group of four lasted a long time. They were some of the most badass individuals, and like all their backgrounds were so insanely crazy and different. Like if you go through all of them, you got Gibbs, who was a former Marine sniper, was a Marine sniper who lost his family and then became an NCIS agent. You have Tony Donoso, who was a former Baltimore cop was like a cop around down in Baltimore. That only reason he got on the radar of Gibbs is because he got busted by Gibbs. Gibbs busted him. I mean, Denozo busted Denozo busted Gibbs on a sting, and they figured some shit out.
And then they made out, and then they were on the team. Got it.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
NCIS.
Then you have Kate, Secret Service agent, who like just got kind of along on a case that's kind of similar to Nozo. Was like there for a case, and then was just like Gibbs like, I like you. You're good. You're gonna join it. I want you on the team.
Pretty much.
Then they both joined the team after that. Well, Donoso was looking for, like, he wasn't sure if he wanted to stay in Baltimore, wanted to get out after hearing his partner might be dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then Kate, after being fired, after resigning from Secret Service, Gibbs offered her a job there.
Mm-hmm.
He's just
Then
offering a job.
And then McGee had a couple college degrees in computer science at like MIT and shit. Joined FLETC, passed, and was stationed at oh god, I can't remember. It was stationed not far from Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you can remember all this stuff, bro. I watched.
Dude, I've rewatched like almost every episode, and plus a lot of these characters then do time in the other series.
Yeah.
But like McGee did all that, and then there was a case that involved that Gibbs came down to investigate, and McGee kind of just latched on to Tony and them all, and he never he kept being McGee just kept being so useful in the team. Gibbs finally gave him a job, and then and then when Kate died, Zivo kind of was just brought right in and made part of their team. Because we're gonna have a Mossad liaison officer here in here with us, guys. We're not gonna have another issue like this before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? But like Ziva earned the trust of Gibbs after she murdered her brother, just to keep Gibbs alive.
Mm.
And then after a while, when Ziva, then after a while, then Ziva is presumed dead via a mortar strike at her father's estate.
Yeah.
They then replace her with Eleanor Bishop, who was an NSA analyst. And then after a while, Tony left to take care of a daughter. They replaced him with a undercover agent by the name of Nick Torres.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gibbs eventually leaves. Oh, no, not
Yeah.
Gibbs. And then it was Bishop left, and they replaced her with a NCIS React agent, who then replaced Jessica Knight.
Okay.
And then Gibbs left, and they replaced him with a former FBI agent. And I can't think of his name. But he'll probably come to me later. But there's that. Those are like all the way the team changed and that. And then like throughout all that change through all those years, they had that I went from all that change through all that. Then I went and watched NCIS Los Angeles. All right.
Yep.
When you first watch them and begin to watch them, it's the same style thing. It's a team of 4 guys, some tech analysts, and operation manager, and they had a operation psychologist to help get them in the mind of going undercover and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The main team is Agent G. Callan, Sam Hanna, uh, Kenzie, and Dom.
Mm.
It's those four for a good little bit, and then early in one of the early seasons, Dom gets kidnapped. He's taken prisoner from from like the streets of Los Angeles. He got
Yeah.
taken and was basically used as like a prisoner trying to be used as a prisoner of war.
Mm-hmm.
Terrorists got his hands on him, and they they tortured him and wanted to use him for some shit.
Mm.
During that, uh, when later on they eventually find Dom. During the breakout to try and free him, Dom gets shot and dies during the breakout attempt.
Why'd they let Dom die?
Yeah,
Dominic Toretto.
yeah,
Yep.
sadly enough.
Fuck.
After that, they then add an LAPD liaison officer because they wanted to stop crossing LAPD in investigations. Marty Deeks, who
Okay.
becomes a really, really good part of their team. And then that is the same four they run with the entire time. That is the base four guys they run with their entire time they're there. Those four
Mm.
guys. In later seasons, they add a new tech. They lose their two tech operators. One of them becomes a multi-millionaire and almost billionaire because he's an extremely smart man.
Right.
The other one left to kind of join him, but came back every once in a while whenever they needed assistance.
Yeah.
The psych, the psych, the psych doctor they had on on there, he became a field agent as well. But then they
Everybody
kind
gets a field agent.
basically,
What
but
did
then
you
they
guys think of New Orleans? Sorry to interrupt.
oh yeah, New Orleans. I really like it.
Okay.
Like
Cool.
Agent Dwayne Pride is a fucking amazing character.
Yep. And then I
Like
like Christopher. I
oh,
like his
I
character.
love Christopher LaSalle. He is an amazing character. Uh, have you watched it all?
I
NCS
probably
New
saw it and finished it. Or catch up on
I don't want to spoil shit for you in that with
I
Christopher
mean,
because there's a really good story that goes with his character later on.
it's been going since 2014, man.
Are you okay if I
It's
say it?
okay. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
Chris LaSalle was killed.
Spoiler warning.
Ah, I regret it. I regret
Yeah.
it.
Poor
Yeah,
Rob.
are you sure? Christopher LaSalle was killed. So later on, you find out about Christopher LaSalle's father. He owns LaSalle Oil Enterprises,
Oh fuck.
and his brother Cade is is mentally ill. So his brother's in a help home, getting help, trying to seek help for everything that's wrong with him.
I see.
And his father leaves everything from his will in Christopher's name. So Chris is now the man who has to run and in charge of everything of LaSalle Enterprise for the oil business. When he
Right.
gets to the oil business, he finds out IRS find out that hey, you have like multi-million dollars of tax evasion,
Oof.
and he was so mad. He's trying to figure out what the fuck happened. They come to find out that his father was taking the money that he could put away, and he would give it back to his employees.
I see.
Like he was helping out all the employees of his company.
Oh
So
fuck.
Christopher had to then liquidate the company down so that he could pay off the IRS and then whatever was left he kind of gave back to the employees of LaSalle Enterprise.
I gotcha.
Then this is the last storyline of Christopher LaSalle, which sucks.
Mm.
Chris LaSalle they found He was in the middle of an investigation and couldn't. And then got a phone call from the help house where his brother was staying. He said, "Hey, your brother has been a no-show, like no call, no show, no nothing. No way of contacting him for a couple of days now. Like we normally let him have a day or two, but dude, we're going on 4 days now, and he's not responding to anything. Hasn't come back once. So Chris has to go and try and track down, tries to go back to Alabama, try and track down his brother. This is like a 2 or 3 episode part where he's like back in Alabama, kind of trying to hunt down for his brother. During the investigation to try and find it, they track down a couple of guys, they figure it out, and then they find a guy who they interview him. He confesses, and then like later on confesses to the murder after running away. Confessed to the murder, brought the murder weapon, said everything correct, how everything happened. But it's like, dude, you don't know what exactly happened, and you did not kill my brother. So like, we're gonna let him walk, because he clearly didn't do it. Because they didn't find the evidence of him not doing it, because he's on like a recording of a bar that he was clearly not there for the murder. So they had to let him go. And Christopher and Dwayne try to watch him and follow him to see where he goes. They'll lead him to it. The guy they're following leads them to a goddamn bridge, and the dude jumps off the bridge and kills himself.
Oof.
Christopher then goes to investigate the apartment of that same person who just ended his life, and finds out as he's there, a woman appears, and it appears to be the girlfriend of said person. That girlfriend then listens, well, he brought me out, says like, oh yeah, well, my boyfriend brought me out to this cabin every once in a while, where he had some meetings and dealings that he had to get done. And the sounds like, take me there. They get there, when you get there, he tells the girl, stay in the truck, do not get out.
Right.
Pride and Sebastian, two of the other agents, are like, hey, we're like a few minutes out, don't do anything stupid, stay in the truck. Chris gets out because he sees something moving around. So he gets out, goes inside the house, and finds no one's there, and discovered right where his brother was murdered. Seen the blood pile where his brother was killed. While he's inside the house, someone tries to come up from behind him, and it turns out to be the girl that was in the truck with him. They both come into the house. They're standing over the dead body, and all of a sudden, Chris hears something, turns around, sees a man with a gun pointing at him and the girl. Christopher pushes the girl out of the way. She gets shot in the arm.
He gets shot.
Christopher then gets up and charges the gunman. Gunman puts a few rounds into Christopher, killing him. They rush him to the hospital. He had a chance to live, but ended up dying. It is really sad how he died, because he wakes up for a minute. Loretta Wade, the Emmy, is talking to him. Says, Christopher, keep fighting. Christopher, I'm here. Christopher, I'm here. He goes, and then all of a sudden Christopher just says, let's go fishing, brother. And thinking of his dead brother, Cade.
Yeah.
He ends up passing away. They try coding him. He doesn't come back, and he dies.
Oof. Rough.
And then they track down the person that killed him. And turns to find out that he is the leader of a cult.
Oh. Cults are not fun.
That episode is something fucking crazy. They're trying to cause riots in the street. They're trying to make like national news. And it's just like, oh my god.
As much as I love our little chats, Mark, don't you have to get ready for work?
Yeah, I gotta get going here in a minute. But I'll end off on this. In that same episode, it goes into the bit of they send a guy out with a toy pistol, like raised, like up in the air, the barrel's pointed in the air, but it's up high so the officers can see it. Dude is just walking towards the cops. cops' rifles are all up, and then as he gets closer and closer to the gate, he brings the gun down, starts pointing at the cops, and starts running at the cops, the gun up. And then one of the agents tackle him, grab him, arrest him, and they grab the gun, and they find out it's a toy gun.
Mm.
He wanted us to shoot him.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Wild shit.
Wild shit.
If you ever want to talk about NCIS, dude, I'm almost done with season 7, which is the last season of NCIS New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched all of Los Angeles, and I've watched all of the original minus the newest season they just released in 2020 for season 22. I am planning on next. I'm going to be watching Hawaii.
Ooh,
Hawaii. Hawaii seems like a really good one.
Oh,
Then there is NCIS Sydney, which is only 8 episodes out for season 1.
nice.
Okay.
After that, they just came out with a new series,
Mm-hmm.
NCIS Origins, which is basically NCIS agent Leroy Jethro Gibbs' early days at NCIS. So you get young Gibbs and a younger Mike Franks.
I see.
Oh,
That'll be fun.
I'm down for that.
Anyways, I think that's where we're gonna stop for tonight.
All right.
Do we have any time on it?
We've got an hour almost, Rob.
Well, I was just making sure.
No, I know.
All right.